In this video we'll discuss about the lateral stability of the beam. Okay, so what do you mean by lateral stability? So lateral stability is nothing but deflection, how it is deflected, how it is having deflection capacity, that is we have to discuss in this beam. So a beam transversely loaded its own weight and can attain full capacity, that we can say full capacity is nothing but is plastic moment only if local and lateral stability are provided. Okay, so beam can be reach its plastic moment, or you can say before collapse, so that is we say plastic moment. So because the own self weight is only the load, and one more load is the external loads also is acting on the beam. Okay, so local buckling of the beam can be due to web crippling and web buckling. So web crippling and web buckling is given details in the code book, and I'll discuss in the next video. Okay, they are avoided by a proper dimensioning of the bearing plate and through secondary design checks. If you want to avoid this web crippling and web buckling, so you have to design a proper dimension, and you have to provide some secondary check like deflection check for deflection, check for shear, check for web crippling and buckling. So that's all is given in the code book. Okay, flanges shall always satisfy the outstand to thickness ratio as per IS 2000 IS 800 2007, so that the local failure of flanges are avoided. The flanges should not express any bending movement. It should not be deflect. If it is deflect, means whole beam will become fail. It become easily fail. Okay, so plastic and compact section only you can use for the design. You can't be use other like semi compact and cylinder components. Only you can use plastic or compact section. So this is class 1 and class 2. Okay, lateral buckling of the beam is out of the plane buckling is due to compressive force in the flange, and it is controlled by providing sufficient lateral resistance to the compressive flanges. So it means that if the bending moment is more in the beam, means for protecting your flanges you providing extra plates like cover plates you providing to avoid compressive. That's why you say that depending upon the load cases we have to provide maybe I section, or maybe I section consists of or build-up section. So you already discussed in the classes we last video. There you can identify we have different types of beam depending upon the load cases which is used. So when you designing, we should be keep in mind whether you have to design I section or build-up I section. You have to design. Okay, because if the load is more and you design an insufficient section you choose, means your whole design become uneconomical and fail. Okay, so these are the main factor affecting the lateral stability. Okay, so now we'll discuss about the factor affecting lateral stability. What is lateral stability? You understand now. What are the factors? So here they given actually 3 factors, namely type of cross section, second is support condition, and last one is effective length. Okay, so now I'll discuss one by one type of cross section. So you already know in the market the shapes are available, are different shapes. We have to design according to we have to design, and we have to choose the section which is available in the market. We can't be prefabricated, or we can't be design a different section which is not available in the market. So now lateral buckling strength can be improved by choosing an appropriate cross section where IYY is large. So it means that when you lateral buckling we can avoid. How you avoid? You have to choose a appropriate cross section where IYY is more. What happened in almost section IYY is less in the sections. You have to choose the section which IYY is more. So when IYY is more, stability is having the ability to resist lateral buckling. Okay, the box section satisfies this also, and also has large torsional rigidity as it is closed section. So it is closed section, so box section also satisfy this to control the lateral stability. So now open section like I section have low torsional rigidity and more susceptible to lateral stability, because You already know I section is having, and it may have buckling, because if the web thickness is less, which is required, minimum is required if you design like that, so it having torsional or it is buckle or it is deflected. Okay, so in the class 8.2.2 page number 54 mentioned that the hollow section need not to be checked for lateral buckling extend. This is about the first factor. Second factor is support condition. Support condition, we already know the lateral resistance provided depending on the resistance provided by the support. The effect of various support condition is taken into account using the concept of effective length as given in table 15 page number 58 for simply supported beam, and table 16 page number 61 for cantilever beam. So depending upon support condition, so the maximum support, which are the support condition, depending upon the maximum and minimum, you have to design the you can control the lateral stabilities. Okay, so now here in the last one is effective length. Effective length concept you already know. Effective length concept we discuss in the classes. We can find the defined effective length by using page number table and page number 48, that we already know, so I don't want to discuss of effective length. So we'll go for next is lateral support and unsupported beam. So this is the main concept. You have to understand what do you mean by lateral supported and lateral unsupported. Okay, so lateral supported, the definition is different in the books. So I have taken one definition here. I have taken three definitions to understand lateral supported. The lateral supported beam is a beam whose compression flanges are adequately supported by either beam built in concrete slab or by the angle seated. It means that the angle section, the flange section should be embedded in the concrete section, or it is supported by the angle section. It means that the flange section should not be bent. This is the concept. The flange section should not be bent. So a laterally supported beam is one where the compression flanges is supported and provided from buckling and the horizontal plane due to compressive force in the top of the flange. The load is applying on the flange, but because of this compressive forces, the flange should not be bent. That is only we say laterally supported beam. If you go for the next definition, they given some example. Consider an I section or any section as per you can consider V or V. Okay, now apply a load on the beam. If will be bending due to external load condition. If it is subjected only bending, it is called as lateral supported beam. If the only experience of bending support is called as laterally supported. Now what do you mean by laterally unsupported? So it is given here. If it is subjected to both bending as well as twisting movement or simply rotation free, it called as laterally unsupported. It means that the flange will be twisted, then it is called as laterally unsupported beam. Okay, so behavior of beam also we discuss. Behavior of beam, the concept of behavior beam means the beam should not be deflated because of your self-weight or because of external loads. This is the main concept. It should not be deflect. So here they given some actual behavior of beam depends on the whether the beam is allowed to reach its plastic moment capacity. Okay, if the beam is prevented from local and lateral buckling, the beam reaches its full plastic capacity with plastic hinges form at the critical point of maximum bending moment, which has been described in plastic analysis. We already discussed in the plastic analysis how the deflection shape reaches to plastic moment and last collapse point. Okay, if the beam is not restrained laterally, the beam can undergo elastic lateral torsional buckling and can be failed due to instability with the larger lateral dimension, rotation or cramping. So if you not provided lateral stability, it means that your beam is deflected and it is failed because of more deflection or rotation or warping. Okay, if the web is too thin, we already said in the beam, the main concept is thickness of the web. Thickness of the web, if too thin, the beam can fail in shear due to diagonal compression. If the force is acting on the web, it is buckle means, or it is the thickness is very less to resist the load, definitely it is bend and it is fail as earlier as possible. The bin can also fail due to local effects such as web buckling, web crippling, distortion of flanges if their effects are not considered in the design. What happens when you go for designing? We understand this. When you designing the beam, you have to check with 4 different criteria. One is deflection, second one is shear, third one is web crippling and buckling. And this not required for all problems. Some cases they ask to check this, some cases they not ask. Okay, so but deflection and shear we have must be considered. Okay, so this is about your today class. Okay, so